you get really tight in matches and you get really nervous, I'm going to help you with that in this video. I want to show you a very simple drill that you can work on, and you can use it when you get into tight situations to really calm yourself down so that you can start to play a better quality of tennis. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, give me that thumbs up. And if you find this sort of content beneficial, really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel as well. Before I show you the drill, I just want to give you a little bit of an understanding about what we're working on here. Because in order for you to play your best tennis, we need a balance between stress and relaxation. We need a little bit of stress because that helps us to be more alert. It really helps to improve how well our body moves. So that's going to be a key feature. But if we're too stressed, we go into kind of fight or flight mode. And you want to think tunnel vision here and the way that our system's evolved when we're in high stress situations like escaping from a lion that's trying to eat us. All of our blood goes to the big muscles and helps us to run fast away from the lion or to fight the lion. We lose our fine motor control, our ability to, write neatly or to control the angle of our racket face. And when there's a little bit too much stress, not enough relaxation, that's kind of what we see with players getting the yips. At the moment we got Sablenka on her second serve, and last year we had Zverev, just, amazing players just suddenly losing that fine motor control. And that's when kind of the fight or flight system just gets a little bit too stimulated and the rest and digest system can't handle it or can't balance it out. So really it's about kind of creating balance between fight and flight and rest and digest. And these different strands of our nervous system, we can kind of target them with training in different ways. And one of the most direct routes that we've got into our rest and digest, so one of the best ways that we can help to calm our nerves down when we play, is going to be by training and working on breathing. Because there's different parts of the brain involved, but some of the key areas responsible for breathing are at the bottom of the brainstem in the areas that deal with rest and digest. So I'm going to show you a really simple breathing drill that you can work on to help calm yourself during matches. So the drill itself is going to be very unexciting to watch me do, but it's very powerful. We're going to be working on long, slow exhalations and trying to slow our breathing down, because if you think about when someone's stressed out, they tend to hyperventilate, lots of short, sharp breaths. So for relaxation, to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, we do the opposite of that. We intentionally slow our breathing down. So for the basic form of the training exercise, I want you to practice just breathing in through your nose for 3 seconds, and I want you to practice breathing out through your mouth for 6 or more seconds. So I would breathe in through my nose and then out through my mouth. 6 or more seconds. In through my nose, out through my mouth. So this is actually going to be a really good thing that you can practice and work on throughout the day. You could just sit there watching TV, kind of working for 2-5 minutes of long, slow exhalations. You could go for a walk, walking on long, slow exhalations to kind of train this system overall. But obviously when we get out onto court and you're playing a match, it's a little bit different, because it's unlikely that you'll be taking a nice, relaxed, slow inhale through the mouth, because you'll just have been running around, so you'll be out of breath. So potentially it'll be a big breath in, and then you'll be very consciously trying to slow your breathing down. And you're going to be having an ongoing conversation with yourself, kind of telling yourself to relax. People have a lot more control over their breathing than they think. You might, when you get out of breath, just start panting, but if you really focus on it and you practice this, you can actually start to control your breathing and slow it down a lot more. But this is something that is actually going to take practice. You can't expect this to happen. Just watch this video, step out in the biggest match of your life, and you'll be able to use this breathing technique. It's something that you're going to have to work on. So you deliberately practice it within your training sessions, when you're playing points, doing whatever you're doing. After the point's finished, then you try and automatically go into how quickly can I start to control my breathing. As I'm doing it, I'm telling myself to relax, trying to lengthen that exhale, because in between one point ending and the next point starting, you know, we've got 20, 30 seconds, depending how strict people are being. But training yourself to calm down as much as you can, lengthening that exhale. You know, if you're serving, then as you're going through your routine, still continually trying to calm down your breathing. If you're returning serve, still trying to calm down your breathing. You know, maybe as you're giving yourself instructions for the next point, but again, training yourself to do it. Now, there's an additional piece that comes along with this. You can also really start to kind of slow your heart rate down, because again, it's still the parasympathetic system. And with practice, you can both slow your breathing down and return your heart rate to a lower level than would otherwise be possible. And it's another one that's really simple to practice on court. You could do it after a point, or you could do it after any fitness work. As soon as you finish, just stop, try and slow your breathing down, try and control your heart rate. And you can literally measure it using one of the smartwatches that measure your pulse. These days you can kind of just do different things with your finger on your phone. There's different apps that you can get, but training yourself to control your breathing by slowing it down and your heart rate will really help you to calm down during tight moments in matches. So I just want to pull out one key point that I said then in case you overlooked it, and that is that you are going to need to practice it. You are going to need to work on it. You cannot expect this to happen right away if you're playing the most important match of your life next week. That's not the way it works. You have to train and work on this skill, learn to control your body, learn to control your breathing, learn to control your heart rate and your emotions over a period of time, just like you would train anything else. Now, in terms of improving your mental abilities on court, your mental toughness, your state of mind, your ability to stay present, your focus, there is a lot of stuff you can actually do in this area, and it's one of the biggest things that you can do to improve your performance overall. This is one of the things that I help tennis players with, because I use brain-based training to help players kind of reach a higher level. If that's something you would like to learn more about, I've created a masterclass that's going to go into a lot more detail about it. I'll place a link up there, and I'll place a link down in the description so that you can check it out if you're interested. And if you do sign up for that free masterclass, at the end of the class, it's going to tell you a little bit about my program and how I work with players and the next steps that are involved if this is something that you would like to pursue. If you just want to watch another YouTube video right now, then I recommend this one here, because I go into detail about some of the things that I had to do to overcome my fear of losing and address my anxiety on court.